Dancing on deck as the moonlight gleams, wasting time to a wildest dream. Newport's calling, her heart's at sea. Every sunrise feels like meant to be. From Coco Cay to Caribbean blue, every shore's got a story too. Laughter and music wherever she moves. If you seek MK, she's finding her grooves. No deadlines, no phone, no shoes, just ocean skies and sunset views. The rhythm of life, the salt in the air. Freedom is calling, she's already there. Living her best life, what's her next move? If you seek MK, find her on a cruise. Yeah. If you seek MK, find her on a cruise. Find her, find her, ooh, find her on a cruise. If you seek MK, yeah, she's on the move. Find her, find her, find her, find her. Freedom is calling, she's already there.
Well, hello. Hey, cruise tubers. Jen, Vicky, all of you good people, thank you for stopping in. So we've got, oh, no, that's me. We've got Jaden and we've got Jen from Cruiseaholics Anonymous. Cruise tubers, hey, DC. Oh, I was watching Cruising Tracy Style, and she said she is going to be on your live stream July 17th, I think. So I sent her a message and said, hey, like if you ever want to come on my live, you're very much welcome to, because I watch her channel all the time and I really enjoy her content. Vicky, I'll have to watch the Casino Crew after Amy. Oh yeah, we were just on live on Vicky's channel discussing more gambling and more gambling and more gambling. Jen, did you know that DC from Cruise Tubers joined our YouTube After 40 group? Hey, Lori, long time no see, like 5 minutes, maybe 7. I got up just long enough to go to the ladies' room. Well, hello, Miss Dee Dee. Nice to see you. Thank you for stopping in. Well, hey, Keith. Nice to see you. Yeah, I made it home after a really long day. Turns out I never left. Jen, it was going to be a surprise, but the video I'm posting on Friday is going to feature your channel. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, she's doing really great. Like 700 plus subscribers, banging it out with I saw the video about the Harmony and the Harmony versus the Odyssey, and I guess I didn't put 2 and 2 together that the Odyssey wasn't a Oasis class, but I can really see how, like, if people have been sailing the Oasis class, how they might be disappointed to walk on a ship that doesn't have the Oasis, like the Central Park, and just kind of like the setup of the Oasis class. But I agree about, like, in the Mediterranean, where the weather can be unpredictable, it can be hot, it can be rainy, that it might be better to have more indoor spaces. Now, I remember when those ships, the Odyssey and I think it was the Spectrum is the other one, that they were built for the Asian market, because before COVID, I actually ended up losing a $400 and something deposit to Royal Caribbean because I had the Spectrum booked out of Asia, and the pandemic happened. So I ended up losing my money and I never got it back, because then you had to book it back in a certain amount of time. And I just wasn't able to do that because I was kind of going through a divorce at the same time. Then my stepmom got sick, so I lost all my traveling partners. Let's see. Oh, hey, YOLO. Thanks for popping over from Vicky's channel. Yeah, we were having a good time talking about gambling, and I have like the whatchamacallit, the National Harbor, like the MGM casino here, and I'm just afraid to get into gambling on land, because like you just never know like where that's going to go. Like, can I control myself, and what would I get out of it other than having fun? Like, I mean, if they've got some good Firelink games, I would love to try them. That would be a lot of fun. So yes, Tracy and you are the 2 channels I watch heavily before I started casino play. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, there's been so many people that said that they really want to try the casino, and A lot of it's pretty easy, but you just got to pay attention to the rules, especially like with the princess. Like, if you're not paying attention that your offer and like when you get your see you soon offer, that you only have a very limited amount of time to book it and you have a very limited amount of time to sail. So you could go in the casino and waste thousands of dollars earning that offer and then not be able to use it because you didn't realize like the dates and times that it was available. So, or that the dates and times that you have that you can use it. And so I think people don't do quite enough research into it. And that kind of brings me to the topic of today. Today's live stream was I didn't do enough research on my Mediterranean cruise. I saw all these fancy pictures that everybody's always had and all these videos about going on a Mediterranean cruise, but it does not prepare you for the actual cruise. When you get there, it was definitely something else. Um, the cruise tubers and me, that's funny. Yeah, check out the post he made. I'll have to make sure I check that out. The concept is five must watch creators under 1,000 subs. Oh, well, that eliminates me because I am hoping someone said that they subscribed. I'm at 1,199 subs. So I am almost hitting 1,200 subs on this channel, which is amazing because I sat, oh, it seemed like a couple months that I sat and I only got like one or two subs here or there, maybe one or two a week. And then it was just like all of a sudden, like I just got a whole bunch of subs and then it stopped again. And then lately, I'd have to say, yeah, I've gotten a couple hundred subs in the past month, which is amazing. Very cool concept, DC. Mediterranean cruises are definitely different. Yeah, I didn't really prepare very well. You know, I did start making a list, but I fell asleep before I could finish it last night. I was up to probably like 2 a.m. Just thinking about like what I wanted to talk about. Because I just don't think people are very prepared for Mediterranean cruises. And look, like I'm a little bit of an abnormality, right? I'm 100 pounds, still 100 pounds overweight. And so that hinders me. And I have a couple injuries, so that hinders me more. And my brain always says, oh, I can do a lot more than I can actually physically do. So it just, I don't know, it's amazing. Oh, yeah. Well, thank you, DC. Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. It was April 7th, I think that I hit, or maybe April 14th that I hit 1,000 subs. Yeah, I did a lot of research. Let's see who else. Someone else has come in. Oh, hey, Anissa. Nice to see you. Anissa has not cruised yet, but she is definitely excited about cruising. Europe is a lot of walking, a lot of walking. Now I'll have to definitely check out that thumbnail. Premieres Friday in the slot that we do live. Oh, that's cool. Oh, well, hey there, Terry. Nice to see you. So I would say like one of the really big things for a Mediterranean cruise, if you're looking at booking one, is just be prepared to be very busy. If you're not looking for a very busy cruise, then maybe, you know, you can do a Mediterranean cruise and just see the sights from the ship. Like, so, you know, there's kind of two camps, people who want to do and see everything, and then people who just want to be on the ship and okay, maybe you're seeing Europe, but you're seeing it from the ship, and that's okay. But like, if you're doing the whole thing, be prepared for like a lot of walking. Now, I will say, like, so let's just kind of start from the beginning, like getting there. Make sure that you're leaving yourself at least a day, if not two, early before you get to Europe because cancellations happen, strikes happen. There was actually a planned strike on the day that I arrived. But I wasn't supposed to arrive that day. I was supposed to arrive the day before, but my flight got canceled. And so I came in on a day where I flew in at 7:30 in the morning, and then the strike was scheduled for 10 a.m. So we actually had several people in our group who almost didn't make the cruise because of the strike. So just make sure that like you're keeping up with that, and then try and come in as early as you can. If you can come in a couple days early and then really enjoy the city that you're flying into or another city, that's really great. Now, I know a lot of people make a big deal of Rome, not the Rome cruises not being in Rome and being all the way in Civitavecchia. And I didn't really have an issue with it because I'm used to using Metro. Like if I want to go into DC, if I want to go to the airport, if I want to do like anything that I can't really take my car with me, uh, I'm used to taking Metro. I'm used to taking Metro in other cities. So for me to take like a 45-minute train from Rome to Civitavecchia was really no big deal. The challenge is the luggage and getting up the stairs because they don't necessarily have the disabled trains, meaning or accessible trains where the platform is even with the train. So you can't just like walk on and roll your luggage right on. So that's one thing to keep in mind is just like, how are you going to carry all your stuff around? Now, we'll say like the Leonardo Express train was really great, a little pricey, much more convenient than taking the bus from the airport, but way better than trying to get a taxi for, unless you have like four people, you're not going to want to do um, really try and do a taxi because then you're just going to be in a cramped car with all this luggage and then be on a road where you could just be some comfortably sitting in a train. But what I'd recommend for that is don't buy your ticket in advance for the Leonardo Express because it's going to force you to buy a timed ticket. And how do you know exactly when you're going to take the train? But they have machines right in the airport as you're walking towards the train that you can buy an untimed ticket. So it's like usually within like 2 hours you have to use the ticket, and so that I thought that was great. Now I did buy mine on Omeo, but then I realized that I overpaid by a couple euros, and that's I think OMIO is the name of Omeo. I think that's the name of the app that I used. uh, but the second time when I was coming back to the airport, I just bought it right at the train station. I just bought like an untimed ticket, and then it just said that like once I punched it. So if you have the physical ticket, you need to punch it. You need to find a little machine that's hanging on a wall and says insert your ticket here. And then you need to punch that and time stamp it so that way if a conductor comes by, they know that you have punched that ticket to use it for that train. So DC says, I'll be on Mass Islander. Oh, Margarita Islander, first announced NCL. Well, I pray for you because that doesn't look like that would be fun for me. Oh, hey, Lieutenant Grays. Hit the like button and you'll catch the replay. Aw, well, I'm sorry you can't hang out with us, but yeah, make sure you leave me a comment in the replay. OMG, on the Mediterranean cruise, we walked everywhere. It's so healthy. It is healthy, but if you have a knee injury and a back injury and you're 100 pounds overweight, it can be overwhelming. And then sometimes then you have to live with the disappointment of, oh, I'm here in this unbelievable city and I can't do all the things that I want to do. So I did end up doing the hop on hop off bus in Rome, and I'm glad I did because I did get to see a lot of stuff, but unfortunately like where the buses, sorry, I have a cat hair in my mouth. Unfortunately, like where the buses stopped, it was still a pretty good walk to a lot of the things that you wanted to see. Like I got off the stop for the Trevi Fountain, and I'm glad I did. I wasn't going to do it because I was running on zero sleep for the night because I flew in on an overnight flight and didn't get any sleep. And they're like, oh, I did Apple Maps. Don't use Google Maps, people. It just doesn't send you to the right places. I did Apple Maps and it said it was like down a gently sloping street about like half a mile from the bus stop. And I'm like, okay, I can do a half a mile. No problem. It was not gentle sloping. People, it was not. So just be prepared for like really uneven streets, broken streets, no curb cuts for suitcases, mobility items, wheelchairs, any of that. And honestly, I didn't really see anybody out with mobility aids or wheelchairs in when I was out in Rome. So just be prepared for that. But the hop on, hop off bus, especially for somebody who has limited mobility, is mostly a good idea. But when you get up top, it is kind of like it is very bumpy. And you, unless you're tall, you really don't get good views. You know, I'm only 5 foot tall, so it was kind of hard to get good photos of stuff from the bus. You really have to get off and then wait for the next bus to come around. But I think it was worth it. Um, so Jen, you got to spend 3 nights in Rome first. Yeah, I was trying to spend 2 nights, but because of the whole airfare thing, I arrived on Monday and my cruise departed on Tuesday. But I just don't think that getting to the Civitavecchia cruise port was as big of a deal as a lot of people make it. Like I stayed a 3 minute walk from Termini Station, and I stayed in a pretty decent, I mean, it was a really nice hotel. Now the area right there isn't the nicest. There's tons of graffiti, but I didn't feel uncomfortable or unsafe. Like I actually went out walking like at dusk, and I was like near so many like really cool things. It was really amazing. I was near the Santa Maria Maggiore Church where Pope Francis is buried. So I got to see that, which was unbelievable, and it's free. You just have to wait in line to get in. So that was really great. Also, too, another tip for the train is it really depends on like what time you need to be to Civitavecchia, is that you can buy a ticket on a train for a first class seat. Now, it ended up costing me a total of $25, including the seat reservation and all the other fees, and I bought it on the Omeo app. But compared to what other people in my group went through, so I was actually traveling in a group for the YouTube After 40 course that I always have linked in my description. And Linnell from Poverty to Paradise was on that cruise. So if you saw her short about her and the Italian woman, that the woman was like yelling and screaming. So she took a regular train that day, or I think that was like the week before for her Odyssey cruise, but it's the same type of trains and everything. But I took mine on the one that I had to reserve. That was a 40-minute faster train, and I reserved a seat so I didn't have to worry about not having a seat. And the difference in price, I think it was like $15 difference. So on something like that, I think that is a luxury item. I think is worth spending the extra money. And I had reserved it on the way back as well. But unfortunately, someone in our group had a snafu and they lost their phone and uh, all this good stuff. And so I ended up missing that train and having to go on a regular train. And it was only $5, but we were like the only ship that came in. And so the trains just weren't busy. Thank goodness. Oh yeah, it was very sad coming back home. Oh well, thank you, Keith. Yeah, make sure you hit that like button to let YouTube know that you like this live stream. Margaritaville Islander is such a fun ship. We're very pleasantly surprised. You know, I think I might try and do what's the new one, like the Beachcomber. I got a offer. I've got like an offer for Seascape or Seashore, and then I've got one for any of the Margaritavilles. I'm just like running out of time. Like this year's like really packed, and then I've already got the Unhinged cruise in February of next year, and then I'm trying to get myself on the next YouTube After 40 cruise, which is in May of 2027. So I'm just booking myself up. I love my med cruise: Athens, Istanbul, Mykonos, Santorini, Kusadasi. Oh yeah, I liked Kusadasi. Uh, I'm gonna save my comments on Santorini because I have some words about Santorini. I didn't do Mykonos, but I've been to Istanbul, but not on a cruise. One of my favorite cities in the world. The food. I absolutely love like authentic Turkish food, and you can't always find it like right around the cruise ports and stuff. You have to really find a restaurant that has it. Now, I know everybody's going to say, oh, well, doner kebab and kofta and pide and all this other stuff, but no, there's like they have a very heavy vegetarian a veggie filled diet, and I love vegetables. And I had some of the best food ever in Istanbul at a place called the Pudding Shop. Sounds odd, right? But it's not too far from Hagia Sophia or the Blue Mosque, and it's called the Pudding Shop. So if you're ever in Istanbul again, you have to go to the pudding shop. I've sent people there and they have loved it. We did Rome Via in 8 days, over 15,000 steps every day. Yeah, I did like 11,000 steps. And that's why I'm like so anxious. Like if some of you watch my weight loss channel, and so that's why I'm like so anxious to really lose weight, is because I want to do all these things. Because imagine yourself walking around 100 pounds, carrying an extra 100 pounds, how difficult it would be to get out and walk around in Rome. So it just makes it infinitely more difficult. Yeah, so you did, yeah. So we did at least 15,000 steps a day. So Jen said that too. Graffiti in Europe is considered art. I think to a point. I think they go overboard with it, and I think they just uh I don't know. And a lot of what I saw near the Termini train station was definitely not art. I mean, there is some really nice graffiti, but there's some that is just not. Yeah, you saw Linnell's video. That it was scary. I mean, and it did appear that there was a man like protecting her with his arm, but the man was actually not. He was just holding on because the train was bumpy. So it kind of did look like, oh, that's nice of the man to kind of put himself in between her and the woman, but he wasn't. He was just holding on. And actually, the luggage she was kicking was his. It wasn't even Linnell's luggage. So it was ridiculous. Yeah, I pay for the convenience. Wasn't it? It's so much better to get that train that that is just a few dollars more to reserve your seat. There were quite a few people from my group that were on it too, and we were all like, "Oh, this was so worth the splurge." Like I wouldn't have splurged for a taxi because that would have been like 200 euros, but I'm surely going to pay 25 euros for a reserved seat on a train. Yeah, that's right. I'll be on the unhinged cruise. It'll be my first time in Carnival in over 20 years, so it'll be exciting to see. And oh, I meant to tell Vicky that like I know some people were worried about like dining and stuff on the unhinged, and like Nettie was concerned about like having to sit with other people. But like what we did on the last cruise I was on with the group is we had like this group chat thing that we used. I don't remember what app it was, but we were all in one app and all added to the group. And if somebody went to the dining room for walk-in and wanted people to join them, they would just go down there, or they would say meeting in the dining room in 25 minutes. And then whoever, like some people would respond and say that they were going to be there. And then some people would just show up. And then we would usually get tables near each other. We wouldn't always get like all sat together because we'd usually end up with about 16 people. But we'd usually get tables near each other. So, and that was so much fun because I sat with like a different group of people that I knew uh, every single night. So I didn't have to eat alone, and I didn't have to eat with strangers on the cruise ship. But I'm going to tell you, when I travel solo, there's always a couple that sits next to me that always like adopts me, that always wants to talk to me and see, oh, you're traveling alone. Well, tell us all about it. So I never get to just eat dinner in peace. Yeah, Santorini. I have words about Santorini, lots of thoughts. Yeah, right, YOLO. It is. Oh, I'm gonna do a whole video, so I don't want to give it all away. But yeah, be prepared for some places on the Mediterranean cruises to not be what you expect them to be. I would say that Catacolone or uh, how I don't know how they pronounce it, but it's where you go for Olympia. That was kind of a bust. Everybody was like, meh, it was just okay. And the cruise lines excursions were outrageous. I don't know what Princess thought. Did they think everybody on this cruise was like a millionaire? Because I couldn't afford any. Well, look, I could pay for it if I wanted to, but I was not about to pay for it. I'm not going to spend that kind of money, two, three, $400 on these shore excursions. So I will say that most of the Mediterranean cruises, when I got off, as long as you're getting off pretty decently early in the morning to have time to do some of the excursions, there were reasonably priced excursions available at the dock. When I got off in Naples, now I did end up just doing the hop on, hop off bus, but there was a really decently priced excursion to Herculaneum and Pompeii, or Pompeii as they call it, and then other areas of the city. And I'm talking like 20 euros, 30 euros. But you do have to pay your admission fee separately, but still compared to, I think Pompeii was like $250. But then everything, like I kept looking at the excursions and everything said like strenuous activity. And I'm like, I'm not all about that. Like I just can't do that. I can do like a mild, like a moderate, sometimes moderate, but like somebody else's version of moderate cruise excursion may not be my version of moderate cruise excursion. I learned that about Rick Steves. So I've actually met Rick Steves, and when I met him in person, I realized this is why I have trouble with his walking tours, because the man is well over 6 foot and he's thin and fit and moves like nobody's business. And here I am, my 5 foot self. And so he's taken one step for every 3 to 4 that I have to take. So it's very easy for him to do all this stuff and, oh, well, I'm going to walk these 2 miles and it's going to take me 25 minutes. And here I am 2 hours later. Oh, amazing. We need to get Jen on Unhinged. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, Jen wasn't on the YouTube After 40, which sucks. When is Unhinged? Oh, yeah, I think you said you couldn't do that, but are you sure you can't move your schedule around? Because like that's so far out. You should be able to like move deposits. It's February 14th. And also my birthday is going to be during the Unhinged cruise. So we sail on Valentine's Day. I think we sail on a Sunday, and I think that day is Super Bowl. And then my birthday's on the 18th later in the week. Oh, yeah. When you say Jen, I think of your Jen. How about I'll be Jennifer? Oh, yep. Sorry. I keep calling you Jen for some reason, but Jennifer, yep. Athens has a lot of graffiti. I was scared to death my first night and then realized it was perfectly safe. Yeah, I mean, graffiti isn't necessarily like a, guess, temperature gauge of the safety. I think it's just you really have to like get a vibe of the city. I haven't done Athens yet. Yeah, I did first class Rome to Florence because I could not handle not having a seat, right? Sometimes it's just worth it. And I know they're like, oh, stupid Americans wasting the extra money to do it, but sometimes it's just really worth it. Yeah, so Jennifer, here is the Carnival celebration. Carnival Cruise Addicts, I think maybe Keith. Yeah, so Carnival, just unfamiliar to me now. I haven't been on one since 2013. I haven't been on one since 2007. I don't know their protocol at all. I was on the Pride and I didn't really like that ship because our cabin was so noisy, like the vent system in the bathroom. I just could not sleep. I will be there. Oh, so YOLO will be there too. It is going to be fun. Nettie should be there. Is Josie Ann going? I thought I heard that Josie Ann may be going. I need a huge ship and calm waters, not full of kids running around. Then you definitely need no kids. Try Princess Holland, or Virgin is guaranteed no children, but Princess and Holland would have a lot less children. There are solos in the Hunch Hin group. Yeah, you, Carol, Bill. Yep. So there's solos going, and I love sailing solo. Like we're gonna have so much fun. To be fair, we're gonna be so busy. It's gonna be so much fun. Oh, another thing about going to Mediterranean cruises. So make sure that you get a decent amount of euros. Now, I could have really used some lira when I was in Turkey, but I couldn't find a bank. I don't know why. Um, but like, they'll be like, oh, well, we want 1 lira to use the bathroom, which is like 2 cents. Like, so if you have to pay to use a bathroom, but all I had was a euro coin. So it's like, oh, I'm so overpaying, but that is just what I had. But also too, like Civita Vecchia, like all of like the transportation that's going to take you from the train to the ship, they all want cash. They prefer not to have American cash. They really want euros. So just make sure you get money. And I just got money at the Rome airport. But one trick is make sure that when they ask you how you want to charge the money, do not allow them to charge you in US dollars. Make sure it posts to your account. Sorry, there's an ambulance going by. Make sure they charge it to your account in euros in the currency of the country that you're in, because they wanted to charge me $145 for 100 euros, but when it posted to my bank, it was only 124. So I would have paid like $21 more if I had allowed them to charge my card in US dollars, because they kind of like give you a really high exchange rate and you don't realize it because you're in a hurry, you're not doing the math and blah, blah, blah. So always make sure you charge it back. Anything that you use, don't let them charge it to your card in US dollars. But yeah, have your cash. I think you need six euros for the bus if you're taking the bus from Civita Vecchia to the cruise, or I think it's 10 euros for a shared taxi per person, and they usually get like 8 or 10 people in it. And so yeah, just have a 10 euro. You don't need to tip. And most of them don't charge you for bags. I think that's a gimmick. I think I've heard on some channels that they've reported that they also charged you $1 or $2 for bag. That's a gimmick. Neither time, no one in our group got charged extra for their bags. I think cruising in Greece is done better via ferry. I think so too. Um, yep. Got a couple upcoming videos on Santorini, just Santorini. Yeah, I think I thought it was going to be a lot more than it was, and I didn't. I way underestimated the physical difficulty, and they don't really nobody really kind of shows it. I wish I had actually taken the time to record all of it, especially like getting up on the cable car. And I actually didn't know what port or what city I was going to be dropped in, that we had to take the cable car. And then when you get up there and you're like, "Oh, well, where's my van for my transfer?" And then you get up on the cable car and then you realize, "Oh, it's another half-mile walk through a hilly city to get where the vans pick you up." That's why I was like so jealous when I saw that you guys were being dropped off at a port where there was a van. And don't get me started. Well, just wait until you hear what I had to do to get to my transportation to take like a little tour. Not really a tour. It was just a bus. I just paid 30 euros for transportation in Santorini. What about European river cruises? Yes, I loved my European river cruise, even though it didn't sail, because Amy can't ever do a vacation and it be normal. We hit a 1,000-year drought that the river was so low that we couldn't sail. So we started in Nuremberg and we were able to sail, I think, 2 cities over, and then we had to dock and then take buses to our cities. And then we had to switch ships because we couldn't get past where we were in Austria. And we switched ships and then got on a ship in Vienna and stayed there for a couple of nights, but we couldn't sail past Vienna. We were supposed to go to Budapest, but we ended up taking a bus. But absolutely, European river cruisers are worth it, but they're expensive. So you really got to watch the pricing. I would not necessarily try and do like a Viking unless you really got a ton of money, because that's usually like 5K a person. And I think they're way overcharging for these. I've heard people usually do like the better prices ones like TUI And Uniworld, I think, is another one, or AMA Waterways are ones that are better priced, but highly recommend European river cruising. But you don't really I didn't get any scenic cruising. I can't speak to that, but the cities that you go to are fantastic. And we ended up being there like right at Thanksgiving. And so the Christmas markets were opening. It was cold, but it was pretty fantastic. I've definitely, like, if I had enough money to just do that, I would definitely do that. Non-group cruise. Yeah, they are. Non-group cruises are the best. Oh, well, thank you so much, DC. Yeah, make sure you hit that like button. Yeah, Rick Steve, like, he's so tall. I think he's like 6'3", 6'4". And here I am, my little 5-foot self standing next to him, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is why. Like, he says his like walks are not gonna take him very long because he's so freaking tall. Because I took his walk through the like market in Istanbul, and I was like horrified how difficult it was. It was really difficult. Uh, Foodies Travel Casino Life. This is Vicky's new casino channel. This is a non-group cruise you guys talk about all the time. Yeah, Vicky's going. Absolutely, Vicky's going. We will drag Vicky there, but no, Vicky's definitely going. That's my aim, to be the older black lady Rick Steves. That's funny. Yeah, 14th of February, Carnival Celebrity. No, no, is it the Celebrity? Celebration. Carnival celebration, 7 nights. Yeah, we will celebrate. The bad thing is I hate alcohol, so we're gonna have to figure out something. And we're gonna have to figure out something for me. Chocolate covered strawberries. That'll do it. Yeah, Josie M will be there. Easier to say Foodie Squad members are not coming because there are so many Foodie Squad. Some kids, my kid is 15. Yeah, Princess had some children, but it wasn't like really overcrowded. We had probably 20 kids on our ship in the Mediterranean. But yeah, this the ungrouped cruise, the unhinged, and I mean, that would be a great cruise for you to come with your kid, because then you'd have other adults as well as kid time. Heading back to Europe late summer, different departure port in 2 countries. Really excited. Yeah, I loved it. Now, when I got my See You Soon offer, it did include Europe, and I could have booked Europe, but unfortunately with my job, like, it's really hard for me to be away more than just 5 days at a time. It's actually written in our handbook that we're not supposed to take 2-week vacations. And so, like, if I'm sailing out on like a Saturday, right, I have to go a couple days in advance. Uh, so it's just like that kind of kills it. And then I need like at least a day on the other end. So a 7-night cruise ends up being like a 12-day vacation. And I have the vacation time. It's just because I'm work for a small company where there's no backup. So like the work that I do is vital to the company, but it just doesn't get done when I'm not there. So Chris says the XL class ships on Carnival are basically on par with the Freedom class on Royal. They are very nice. Now, Chris, I hate the Freedom class, to be fair. Well, actually, I've only done the Freedom of the Seas, and I had a pretty rough experience. I got pneumonia from the smoke in the smoking casino because it filled up all of deck 4. Nothing for me was usable. No playmakers, no crooner bar. I just couldn't even go on deck 4 at all because I'm just that sensitive to smoke. And then I got a gastro virus, and I was so sick. And our ship was super, super crowded. I was on it back to back, so a total of 9 nights. And it was just really uncomfortable with that many people. The promenade was just wall to wall people all of the time, like elbow to elbow. It was really hard to move around on the Freedom class ship when it was that absolutely packed. Maybe you mean the Oasis class ships. Yeah, I don't know how big the XL class is. Yeah, Rick isn't, Lori isn't, Chris M isn't, and Zach isn't. Yeah, because it's not in Jacksonville, so Lori's not going to go. Willie isn't so far. Yeah. I know you're working on it, Willie. Oh, I'm so sorry that I'm over here like itching. I've got like cat hair all over me. Exactly. Let your bank do the transfer. Yeah, that's right. Don't let them do the exchange rate. Don't let the machine do it for you. Yeah, I love her name too. It's so great. Holics to go to meetings. Friends of Bill W. Oh, speaking of Bill W., we don't have Bill W. tonight. I guess he's busy on a cruise. Did you cruise the Danube? Yes, ma'am, I did. I did from Nuremberg to Budapest. So we did Regensburg, Passau. I think we stopped in Linz to do the Melk Abbey. Vienna and Budapest, and then I went and spent 2 nights in Prague. And then yeah, we did Prague for a couple of nights, which was really great. So we just like took a flight from Budapest to Prague and then onward home. So that was really, really, really fun. My fear about river cruises is they're boring. Oh, yeah, that's right, because you have to be doing something all of the time. They do have talks and stuff, but you know what? By the time you get back to the ship, you have your dinner, and then you're so exhausted from so much activity during the day because the cities are so walkable and so easy to do things. And some of the European cruises actually include a free walking tour every day. So, yeah. So I don't know. It is just not a place to be really entertained. And I would say that like on Princess too, like I wasn't a fan of their entertainment, not like Royal. I mean, I can see, Jennifer, why you really like to sail Royal because their entertainment is so entertainment and entertaining and so fantastic. And Princess was just okay. But when you're on a group cruise, like you don't have time for the entertainment. That really takes a back seat. Celebrity has a river cruise now. I know I was looking, but it's so expensive. Like, and they're booking them. Yeah, I wouldn't book Viking or Ritz. Just so much money. Auto correction, carnival celebration. Yeah. Hey, Super Chat. Hey, Kevin. Nice to see you. Thank you for sharing that on Reddit. That's a bummer, Amy. Let's see. Yeah, it was a bummer that we couldn't sail, but you know what? Passau and Regensburg were stunning. Absolutely worth seeing. Nuremberg was charming. Their Christmas market was open when we were there. And it was great. Yes, I hate the freedom class because every time I went to go to use the elevator, it was like a highway of people. And so every time you would need to get on, most of the time you would miss the elevator because there were so many people walking between you and the elevator because they usually had the middle thoroughfare on the other side where people are supposed to be walking. They usually had it closed off for photos. So it was obnoxious. Now, I did like the layout of the room. Uh, the bath, like the shower was a little bit small. But I did like the layout of the cabin. But I just didn't like the freedom class. And maybe it was because I did this in the wrong order. I started with Icon and then went to Oasis and then went to Freedom. But I think the smoking is just really what got me because then I'd go out on, I think it was deck 4 outside as well, and one whole side of the ship was smoking. And I would like to do laps around that promenade deck, and like I just couldn't. I'd have to get to a point and then turn around and go back around the other way. And so if you were trying to sit out and your side, the non-smoking side was in the sun, well, you couldn't really go on the other side of the ship to get the shade because there would be so many people smoking out there. And it really like it, even though it's outside, it was still, I don't know, it just bothered me. Like, and I'm not throwing shade on people who smoke. This is my problem, not their problem. They're smoking where they're supposed to be smoking. What's the best class on each line? It really depends on what you like. A lot of people love the smaller ships on Royal Caribbean and some of the other, but I I don't know. I liked the size of the Enchanted Princess. I liked that they had like all of the venues on one level, and it was so easy that if you wanted to go to the Princess Theater or the what was it, like the Captain's Lounge, the Crown Lounge or whatever, or Princess Live, that it was all on one level, and the Piazza Oh, so that just really made it easy. I really like the Oasis class um, a lot, but free Royal's food is just killing me, just absolutely killing me. Um, yeah, I like the Oasis class. No, I loved the Icon class, but it was just we were at capacity with 3,000 children, and I thought I was going to lose my mind. It was just so overcrowded. Yes, Oasis class, not Freedom. Yep, that's right. Because I didn't think the celebration was that small. No, I didn't mind the size of the ship, but I just thought we were way too over capacity. For Royal, definitely Oasis class is best overall. Best for shows, Icon class. Man, the Icon of the Seas, the best entertainment I've ever seen. I raved and raved and raved when I got off that ship about the entertainment. I loved the music hall. They had a Journey cover band. They were really darn fantastic. The Effectors was okay, but I mean, for kids, look, it was pretty fantastic for kids. And I thought some of the techno stuff in it was really neat. I thought the ice show was good. The Wizard of Oz was outstanding. Like the best thing I've seen at sea ever. And I saw, honestly, I'm not a huge fan of the Aqua show. I know a lot of people love it. I thought it was good, but to me it was not something I'd see twice. But I actually loved being at the elevators that were like near the Aqua Dome Market. Um, but they do need a little bit more variety in the Aqua Dome food. Like instead of serving the same thing for every single restaurant, the entire 7 nights, they really could have like had a dish of the day or something that would have made it a little better. Uh, so Chris said, I actually really like the Freedom. The casino has a weird crowded layout for sure. Yeah, I didn't go. Went downstairs once and that was it. And then I played in the one that was upstairs, the non-smoking casino that was right on the promenade. Um, yeah, I mean, it was pretty busy and it was kind of like, it wasn't a very big casino, but the promenade was so packed and I really don't like that Carnival just fills it up with junk. They're just too busy trying to sell you stuff because apparently we're still cruising like we're in the 1980s and 90s and we got to have all this stuff out all of the time and it just really clogs up the promenade and it's really annoying. Well, hey, Miss Dee Dee. Nice to see you again. I had a great time on Freedom of the Seas back in December 2025. Enjoyed the non-smoking casino. Yeah, so I did the Freedom in November of 2025, and sadly, I ended up with pneumonia. It lasted about 20 days. There were good aspects. Now, I did like to be able to go out on the front of the ship like the helipad. And if you go through that secret door in the library or the Star Lounge, now I love the Star Lounge, then you could get up there without having to do steps unless you wanted to do like the last 5 steps to get up on the helipad itself. But I have a really great video of watching the Wonder of the Seas sail away from, I think that was the Bahamas, watching like 3 or 4 ships sail away while we were standing out on the helipad of the Freedom. And I liked that it did have a wraparound promenade. I really missed that on the Enchanted Princess. For some reason, they kept the promenade closed and we weren't able to use that, which is weird. I didn't feel really connected to the sea at all on the Enchanted Princess. The Freedom definitely gave you a much bigger connection, but just not when you were like inside on the promenade at all. It just really felt closed off. But I did love my room layout. I loved that we had a little sofa. I just had a look, I was on a casino deal. So I just got the cheapest of the cheap interior cabin. And but it had enough room for 2 adults that were not in a relationship. And with the little sofa, that was really nice. So Tuber Chat saying hello. Jaden's saying hello to Tuber Chat. Anissa says, my colleague always says Virgin. I really like Virgin. The one really big knock on Virgin is that their furniture to me is supremely uncomfortable. The only thing that I was ever comfortable in was mostly the furniture in the dining room and the hammock on my balcony. But what did I do? I had, oh, maybe it's in my upcoming video. So I filmed a video about like the 10 things that I love and hate about Princess Casino and their casino program. And I actually say in the video that I would like to yeet the stools off the ship from the Virgin Casino because they're so uncomfortable. I couldn't sit in there comfortably and play. Uh, and it was just a nightmare. It was like I really just wanted to sit in there and play, but I just hurt. Oh, sorry. I'm getting uncomfortable in my chair, but my cat is laying across the wheels of my office chair. I wish I could show you because it is so ridiculous with how this cat sits all day long. Yeah, definitely the wrong order. But you know what? A free cruise is a free cruise. I wasn't going to turn down the Freedom of the Seas, and it just happened to be going at the time that I had available. My cruise on the Freedom was not as crowded. Yours sounds awful. I always stay on deck 6. I was on deck 6. So it was I really liked being on deck 6. It was nice. We had a room not too far from the, I think, forward elevators, but it just was wall to wall people. Uh, yeah, it was a madhouse. I don't know what was going on. Uh, so you like the Independence and Mariner? I have not been on either, but I know Independence is Freedom class and Mariner is the smaller one, right? Icon and Wonder are my favorite. Yeah, I loved both of them. I loved the Solarium Bistro, but I've heard that they're taking that away, that they're going to be putting a new specialty dining in it. So I think during the day it's going to be free, but then at night it's going to be like that Brazilian steakhouse that you're going to have to pay for. And I'm so over specialty dining. Oasis class is my favorite class of royal ship. I'm hoping the XL will be good on Carnival. Yeah, because you just went on was it the Oasis of the Sea? No, you went on Utopia, right? The music hall on Quantum and Icon classes are awesome. I loved the music hall. It was so great. But I think they could use a few more chairs in there. Yeah, the Wizard of Oz was the best. It was so good. I'm on the Icon for 2 weeks in November. Oh, I'm so jealous. I'm hovering over the book button for the Star. Yeah, so the Star has a little bit different food in the Aquadome Market, but other than that, it's pretty close to the same ship. Um, yeah, YOLO. I like the music hall too. Yeah, the music hall is great. The first Effectors was good. I've seen Effectors 1 and I've seen Effectors 2. I would say the weirdest thing I've ever seen was on Wonder of the Seas. And I think I put out a video that says, like, I'm so confused by this, was that Voices program, singing thing on the Wonder of the Seas. Just forget it, please, people. Just can that show. I'd rather just see somebody up there singing without this all tomfoolery they did. Yeah, the Wizard of Oz was awesome on the Icon, wasn't it? Oh my gosh. And Miss Dee Dee, do you have a YouTube channel? Because I know that I was watching somebody last night with Dee Dee in the name of their YouTube channel that does gambling. And I was having a blast because I'm currently addicted to Ultimate Fire Link Triple Nova. So I've been watching all kinds of videos because I played it for my Princess Cruise, and that's how I ended up getting my instant cruise certificate. And I won a jackpot on $1.50 spent, $1.50 bet, 1 cent denomination. I won $846. So it was pretty fantastic. Oh, well, hey, you're back from the downsized cruise. That's pretty fantastic. I really wanted to go, but it was just not in the cards because work is so busy right now. Like I don't know why. Everything's just falling apart right now. Oh no, ma'am, you don't. Okay. So I didn't know if you were the person that I was watching because sometimes they come up under different names. Well, hey, Jeremy, nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. Oh, great. I finally caught up with the comments, y'all. Y'all been busy. So let me see. Is there anything else I can kind of give you tips on for the cruising a Mediterranean cruise? Oh, if you ever are considering staying at the airport hotel in Rome, there's a Hilton. It was a nice hotel. It wasn't cheap. And I thought because, oh, my flight's at 8 a.m., but I forgot that my flight was a domestic flight because I was going to Amsterdam and changing planes. They don't even announce your gate until, so my flight was like at 8:30. My gate was announced at 7:20. So it was like 1 hour, so 70 minutes. I walked out of my hotel at like 6:30 in the morning. And it was a good like 30-minute walk. And I get there and I'm like, oh, well, I just have to sit in the general area because, these airports don't kind of do gates like we do in the United States, where you're going to know your gate pretty far in advance. But yeah, so I just really sat there for like almost 2 hours, it seemed. Uh, and also be prepared in Europe that you're not necessarily going to have a jet bridge. Now, I did have a jet bridge uh, when I got off the plane in Amsterdam and when I got on the plane in Amsterdam, but I did not have a jet bridge for any of my flights in or out of Rome. And then when we got at one point when we got to the plane, we had a bus full of people, and they're like, "Oh, the plane's not ready," so we had to sit on the well, not sit. We had to stand on the bus for a while. So just be mindful that if you're flying into Europe, that you think about what you're carrying with you because you may have to carry it up a bunch of stairs. So they actually forced me to check my carry-on, and so I just had my backpack, and I'm really glad that they did force me to do that because otherwise I don't know that I would have made it up the stairs to a very, very large aircraft with all of that stuff. So Chris says, I've had a few people say Star has Back to the Future show that's supposed to be awesome. Yeah, a lot of people have said that that is a pretty fantastic show. So I'm really, one of these days, I'm going to be actually get myself on the Star. I just don't have any, I don't have any Royal Caribbean offers anymore. So I'm really struggling with paying full price. But, I know that they don't really give the Star or Icon ships to people who don't spend a lot and lots of money in the casino. So Snurdle says, have you booked your instant certificate yet? And have you plans for it? Yes, I did book it. I booked it for October of 2024. What year am I in, Amy? Come on, get a grip. I booked it for October of 2026 on the Majestic Princess. So I'm going to go out of New York and do a fall foliage cruise. Now let's face it. At the end of October, the fall foliage is gone from the trees and in the northern areas that I'm going to, but that's okay. Like I should have really gone at the end of September because when you're that far north, that's when the leaves are changing. But I just couldn't make it work because I'm going to be a month out of surgery at that point because I'm having my gallbladder removed late August. So I just really wanted to wait till October, but I'm going to do lots of gambling. And I have someone for my YouTube After 40 course who's actually going to be sailing with me. And she is a gambler as well. So we should be having a great time. Lynn usually watches my videos, so I'm surprised she hasn't popped in and said hey today. Cruise offer, I may not be able to pass up 150 for an ocean view and 150. Yeah, you can, Chris, let's have talk. You cannot pass that up. Oh my gosh. Like, oh, what I wouldn't give. So someday, if anybody gets a second room offer on the Star of the Seas, look me up because I would love to do that. No jet bridge. You had to walk up steps. Yes, ma'am. And then so like when I arrived, we've got a big, gigantic jumbo jet, like nearly the largest plane that flies on the planet. And they park us out in BFE in the middle of nowhere. And then we're all standing there looking at each other like, what the, oh, I'm sorry, my hand gestures. Like, what the heck? So we all like after an overnight flight with no sleep, we all like we struggle to get off the plane down the steps. Nobody realizes that they're having to do steps and they've got all this luggage. And then we have to get on a bus. So they pack us like sardines on this bus and then drive us all around the airport. Rome is just not that big of an airport for what as big of a city and as big of a destination. I didn't think the airport was that big. Yeah, I'd check everything. I hate checking bags. I hate checking bags too, but honestly, like versus carrying it up the stairs. Yeah, we had to walk stairs with our luggage when we transferred trains heading to the hotel. Yeah. Um, I stayed close enough, luckily, to the Rome train station to Rome Termini that honestly, like when I timed it going back because I was concerned I was going to miss my train, when I timed it going back, it was a 3-minute walk. And for me, that's saying something because I don't move that fast. Yeah, that's a really good deal, Chris. Um, yeah, I live on the East Coast up in those area where the leaves change. Yeah, and so then by the end of October, the leaves will be off the trees. Now here where I live, because I'm a little bit further south, usually the last week in October is usually our best week. So I'll be missing it here unless we get some kind of fluke weather. But that's okay. Like I've lived in this area. What year is it? It's 26. I've been here since 15 years. So yeah. So I've seen my fair share of leaves changing, but I'm just excited to get on a ship to sit back, relax, and just do nothing. I think that was really all that I had about the Med Cruise until I do my Santorini because that port is so hyped up and it's so beautiful. And I know that like Rob and Allie from Grounded Life Retirement Travel, they said that they actually did a trip to Santorini where they went and stayed. And it just doesn't I don't think it translates what you're seeing on the videos to what you actually see in person and then realize like, oh my gosh, like this place is so small and so difficult to get around in. But I will say that if you ever get the chance to do Kusadasi and do Ephesus, it's definitely worth it. Now, I got off the ship with one of my YouTube After 40 cruisers, and we didn't book a tour through the cruise ship. We ended up walking out of the port and then hit up a couple taxis, and they started at 150 euros. And then when we went further down the way to actually where the official taxi stand was, they wanted 200 euros. And it was just two of us. So we're like, no way. Like, it's a 20-minute drive. We're not paying you 200 euros. So then we ended up, there was like a little stand, like kind of almost like a little tiki hut, where there was like a tour group. And they're like, oh, well, yeah, we could probably do that for you. Just come to my office. And we're like, oh, like we really don't want to like get sucked in to go into somebody's office. He's like, no, 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 just come to my office. I promise it's going to be okay. So we went to the office. And then they're like, oh, well, most of the groups have already left. So that's another trick for you is don't be like Amy and really sleep in on a Mediterranean cruise. Get up in the morning, try and get off the ship, within a reasonable time, like 8:30, 9 o'clock after, when they dock. But they're like, oh, well, we have to wait for a group of 6 if we're going to do a tour for you. And then it's 50 euros a piece. And I thought that was for round trip. But then you still had to pay your admission. Or no, it was 50 euros total so 25 euros a piece. So that was a really good deal. But then we still had to pay our 40 euro admission to Ephesus. So I thought that was a really good deal that we did that. But we ended up getting on a private tour with another family that had like 2 seats left in their van. And then their price got reduced because we joined. So they just asked them like, hey, do you mind if these ladies join? And they said, oh, no problem. So we ended up joining their group and paid 20 euros a person to go to Ephesus. So way, way, way less than what the cruise ship charges you. But just be aware that anytime you are going to do something in Turkey, they're always going to stop to do some kind of sales pitch. So the choices were either food, leather, which is a leather fashion show. Some people got rugs. We chose food. So they took us to this shop and they literally like closed the doors behind our group and like we're standing in front of the doors like this. It was so weird. But yeah, they just were some people like the other family we were with ended up buying like a bunch of little trinkets and like snacks and stuff from the shop. So it was all fine. But then they actually didn't want to go to Ephesus. They wanted to go to Virgin Mary's house. So they dropped us off at Ephesus, and me and my friend went and did Ephesus, and then they came back and picked us up when they were done. They just said be here at like 12:30, and we'll be there shortly after, and it worked out great. I thought it was like the best thing ever, considering we probably saved $150 per person. So what ports are you stopping at on your October cruise up to the East Coast, Canada, or just Boston and Maine? So I think we're doing Rhode Island. I think Newport, Rhode Island, Boston, Portland, Bay of Fundy maybe, and one somewhere in St. John, I think. The typical ones that most of the cruises do. When I was on Turkey, the salespeople, yeah, it was so many salespeople. But look, I lived in LA for 10 years. I'm used to being able to just walk past people and ignore them. So you just have to try not to make a lot of eye contact. Don't let them stop you and actually start talking to you. Just keep on walking. And nobody was really aggressive with us. It was just like, hey lady, hey lady, hey lady, do you want to buy X, Y, or Z or whatever? So yeah, I don't know. You just have to learn to tune it out. But I definitely would recommend, if you have to a way to get a little bit of lira, uh, when you're in Istanbul or one of the other cities, to just get a little bit of lira so that way you can pay for bathrooms. Oh, that was another thing that I really messed up on, was I forgot to reinstall my app for bathrooms, because I kind of ruined one of my days, because when I got off the cruise, because of the confusion with the one person who lost her phone and then delayed our train and blah blah blah, I got to Rome way later than I thought I was going to, and I hadn't eaten, and I really needed to use the ladies' room really badly, and I couldn't find one in the train station or anywhere, so I just kind of gave up and went back to my hotel, which was at the airport. So then I couldn't really it was a 30-minute walk from the train, so I didn't really want to walk 30 minutes, take a 30-minute train to go back into the city. So just word of warning, it's actually easier to just stay right by the train station in Rome and then take the train in to the airport first thing in the morning. It would be much easier. But yeah, I forgot to reinstall that bathroom app, because that would have been so much better. There's a couple of them, but I think the one that I had was called Flush. Salespeople put stuff in paper bags, handed it to us, said $10. Well, yeah, no, I don't play that game. I will not take something somebody hands me. I had an excursion in Kusadasi, and after the excursion, they funneled us into the rug shop, right? Another part of our group ended up getting the leather. So they did this weird fashion show, and oh, who's gonna buy? We're in a Mediterranean desert, and you're wanting us to buy leather jackets. I don't know. Yes, you have to pay for bathrooms. Yes, so you got to make sure that you keep some change with you. So either euro coins, or for Turkey they wanted a lira, which is to be fair, it's only 2 cents. And I don't mind paying for a bathroom that's in good working order and clean. Especially if you're paying somebody to keep it up clean, but you just got to remember to make sure that you have money with you. Yeah, I would never yeah, the leather shops, they're hilarious. Oh, hey, Shelly, nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. So, Shelly, you were on the cruise with us, right? Because yeah. Um, oh yeah, because I'm actually subscribed to your channel. And I think I left you a comment about the scarf thing. I am talking to the right Shelly, right? Please tell me I'm talking to the right Shelly. About this. Yes. Okay, great. Because sometimes people have similar usernames. But yeah, I left you a comment about the scarf thing, where you had that extra long scarf that you tied together and then put it over your shoulders and through your arms. That was really great, because if you think about it, places like Turkey, that have a heavy Muslim population, if you want to go into some of the buildings or into the mosques, you do need to have head covering, or in the churches in Europe, you need to have your shoulders covered. So yeah, like that was like such a really good idea. And also too, with like pouring water on it to cool you off. Oh, you also like it for pickpocket prevention. Yeah, absolutely. Like if you have it covering yourself. Yeah, I'm going to New York this weekend and I'm a little afraid about the pickpocket situation because I'm going to be walking back from a concert from Madison Square Gardens at midnight. And I'm hoping that Stan, Shelly will remember Stan from our cruise. He's been in the comments a couple of times. I wear the shawl over my bag. Oh, yeah, that's a really good idea. But Stan might be able to walk me back to my hotel, but I was thinking about bringing an old broken phone and like keeping my good phone like hidden like under my dress. I was going to wear shorts that have a pocket in it and keep my ID and like a little bit of cash, one credit card and my phone in my pocket under my dress, and then keep an old broken phone uh, in my pocket just in case. Because, I don't know, the area I'm going to be in, Madison Square Gardens, is relatively safe, and my hotel is over by Macy's. So, relatively safe. But again, it's going to be midnight. And it's also going to be like, there should be like an NBA Finals game ending about that time. At the same time as my concert will be getting out about 11:30. So that's going to be interesting. There are going to be so many people in New York this weekend because there's also a World Cup game over in New Jersey. I'm just like, like literally like my eyes twitching because like I don't know how I managed to book myself concert tickets for like one of the craziest weekends, but I had no clue. I just saw like one of my favorite bands coming to Madison Square Gardens, and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna book it and go for the weekend. And then lo and behold, here's all this stuff that just blows up. But that's so me. That's how I roll, folks. There's always something crazy going on. Well, I have kept y'all on way too long, and it is dinner time for me. I see Kevin is over here enjoying his dinner behind me. Um, so I need to get up and get myself something to eat and take a nap. Because I went to bed way too late. I was working on YouTube stuff till I think about 2 o'clock in the morning. Not sure why, but I was just up, and I was also watching tons of videos on Ultimate Firelink. Like I'm really excited. I think the Majestic Princess has it, so I'm really excited to get on board and try that out. Yeah, hoping to see Liz and Chris. Fun hanging with all. Yeah, have a great evening, DC. It was good seeing you. It was good seeing everybody. And I'm going to try and stick to Tuesdays at 7 p.m. on this channel. And then if you are interested in my weight loss journey, want to talk about weight loss, diet, GLP-1s, Amy on her soapbox about medication prices, then head over to Amy Loses It Thursdays at 6 p.m. And I always put a reminder out. Yeah, girl, go to bed. I know, but I still got to eat dinner. You know what? I think my groceries have been delivered. I use Hungry Route, and I got to go downstairs and pick up my groceries. So lots of goodies. So good night, everybody. Thanks for coming. Oh, you're very welcome. Yeah, if you ever really, really want me on, just say when you're messaging me that you really, really want me on. Because most of the time I'm honestly at 5:30 in the afternoon, I'm still working. Because I don't stop. Usually till 7:30. It's been 8 o'clock lately. So yeah, but I'll try to be more of a regular with that. But okay, so everybody have a great evening. I will see you all again soon. And hopefully one of these days, if you see Gaming K, we'll be on a cruise again, October. I can't wait. Have a good one.
Move if you see Gaming K, find her on a cruise. Freedom is calling, she's already there. Yeah, if you see